That was good. Wild game. You know, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it, there were some really fantastic things that happened. Probably on offense, on defense, special teams. You can sit there and say this was awesome. And you look at some things and that was awful. But the thing I guess that I take away from it the most was, you know, two teams that just played their tails off. Two teams that, you know, at one time or another had some adversity, getting behind and finding their way back into it. And, you know, of course, we got behind and then we took the lead, and then they battled back. And I don't remember if they ever took the lead, but they certainly got within striking distance to where it was very uncomfortable. And even when we had that 10-point lead late, I don't think anybody believed it was over. Maybe the fans thought it was over when we went up by 10 at the end, I don't know. But they did a great job of moving the ball down the field, scoring. There you are with an onside kick trying to decide whether you get it or not. And even when that was over, when you got it, you think, you know, one first down might do it, but it actually took 2 first downs to do it. And just really proud of how the guys finished the game. And extremely proud of the effort. And there's some, like I said, some beautiful plays, but there's some things that we just can't continue to do and keep winning. So, but I'm happy for the victory.
Aside from maybe the first 60 minutes of the game, stretched into the fourth quarter, can I kind of have an old school SEC feel to it? Just grind it out defensively.
Well, in a way, if everybody remembers or thinks of old school is hammering the ball and playing defense and special teams, that whole third quarter was that. I mean, it was a field position thing, and both teams were trying to you know, score some points, but if you couldn't, just, you know, punt the ball, and they kept knocking us back deep, and then we actually did finally turn the field enough to get to around midfield, punted them down deep, and ended up finally making it where there's a lot of grass behind them. The defense had a lot of series there, especially in the third quarter, when they didn't have a lot of grass behind them. I thought the defense did a phenomenal job after both turnovers, not giving up any points. They obviously took advantage of a turnover for a touchdown, took advantage of the punt down deep. You know, you kind of hope you get a good bounce every once in a while. I mean, when a punter punts the ball like Colin did, the one that was down inside the one, you hope you get the right kind of bounce, and you hope the guys can keep from bumbling it in the end zone, you know, and the guys did a good job of getting around the one. And it might have been the most important play of the game was that punt, knocking it down inside the one.
Back off all the people that bring up in the box, and they give you more opportunities in the passing game, but you look like
Say again, I'm sorry.
They've had so many people up in the box, you know, it was like turn and stop run in the first half.
Yes.
Back off the field,
Not really. I mean, they never got in a situation that I saw that they said we're going to put, you know, both safeties in the box and totally sell out. They did like most people do. They played one high safety. I thought, you know, most of the game they played it pretty good. It's hard to contain a guy like Gurley because, you know, part of it is we block pretty good, but when we don't block good, he tends to bring his own blockers and breaks tackles and finds a way to get just a little bit more yardage. And then, of course, that spectacular run. I mean, he jumped over that guy right in front of my face, and it was, I would say right now, it's more spectacular than Noshan's, I thought. But I thought Noshan's defender got a little lower than this guy. I don't know how high Ty got on that thing. There's probably a way to scientifically measure both. And maybe Noshan's was better, I don't know. But it's pretty impressive to see right there in front of you. Just shake your head and go, wow.
Is that as good as Todd has looked to you? I mean, beyond that play, I mean, 200.
Well, I think because the number of carries and the fact that I knew fatigue was setting in, you know what I mean? And then it becomes a heart thing. You know, what's in your heart? How much do you care? How deep can you dig as a competitor? And you know, with Sony getting banged up and not being able to play as much as we would have liked to. By the way, he's got a shoulder injury that we'll find more about find out more about later on. Don't really know for sure on him. But I knew Todd was getting tired, but I knew he was digging deep. It was not super hot, but it was warm enough to get to you. That might have been the most impressive day, just from a gut check and a guy making plays when we absolutely had to have him. And really, really proud of him. Not too fired up about the spike. There's a difference between, getting excited. It's okay to get excited. We got to keep our poise. I'm not talking just Todd. I got coaches running on the field wanting to celebrate. I got all kind of stuff where, everybody's excited, fired up, and you love enthusiasm, but you have to do it within the rules, or you may end up kicking off from the 20, and all of a sudden they got the ball in the 50. So we got to do better at that.
Mark Hudson talked about continuing to be out of sync with his receivers as far as the downfield passing game goes. How concerned are you with that right now? Well, those guys
I don't know if we're out of sync, other than we just got to place the ball better. We got to get off the jam better and give a better target. We know that whether a guy runs a good route or a bad route, there's always a place you can throw the ball that gives our guy a better chance than their guy. But the reality is, we need to get a little separation out there too. We need to get some guys that give you something a little more exciting to throw to than just a back shoulder throw sometimes on the deep balls. But obviously you say out of sync, I don't know what the words to use, but we're definitely not clicking, throwing the ball like we like around here. But like I said before, part of it is when you run it as good as we have been, it's hard to abort running the ball to sling it around just to prove you can. I mean, we're trying to win games right now.
What did you see from Hudson's reaction timing today?
Say again?
What did you think of Hudson's reaction timing today?
Reaction timing, I don't know. I don't know what that means, I'm sorry.
How do you think, the whole talk with Todd and Heisman and all those kind of individual things is only going to, performances like this.
Right.
How does he kind of handle that sort of, and how do you think he'll handle it?
Well, first of all, Todd does love his teammates. He knows it's not just about him. And the Heisman, I've had a couple guys over the years that I coached at Florida State. The Heisman really, in my opinion, is it's a team award in a lot of ways, because you're not going to win unless your team's winning. You're really not. So the team's got to win. You got to have great things happening for your team. And if you have to be playing great on a team that's winning, you got a chance. And every once in a while, there's a guy that might be on a 8-4 team or 8-5 team that might be in the mix. But and Todd's the kind of guy that I think everybody sees the talent. So he could probably be on a team that's 6-6 and still be in the running because of how impressive of a player he is. But really, the reality is it's usually for a team that's doing well and a player who's playing well on one of those teams.
Mark, you talk about the secondary. Given that you have a great running game, and you do have defensive shooting all over the last string, is it even more frustrating that you can't play off that?
Well, I'll say this. It was frustrating today. But, one good thing is I feel like Justin Scott Wesley's going to be able to start practicing Monday, and Malcolm Mitchell's going to start practicing Monday, and even Jonathan Rump, there's a good chance he'll start practicing. And I think guys like Conley and Bennett, and even my brain went, Reggie Davis. I think those guys will become better because of the depth. Those guys haven't had as much rest as you'd like, even in practice. It wears down a guy. It wears down a body when you're running routes over and over and over. And we just haven't had enough depth, even in practice at times, where everybody can be more fresh when the game comes around. And obviously Malcolm is a deep threat, a dangerous guy. Justin Scott Wesley, state 100 meters guy, a very fast guy. So I think having those guys back is going to really, I think it's going to help make us better in the passing game.
So you're still very confident that you can make this road?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think we'll have more weapons, and we'll have more opportunity to make people nervous, I hope.
Mark, can you talk about your secondary teams like South Carolina and Tennessee?